This week in gaming and tech news. Got a lot of PlayStation news, some about the PS6 price, some about their current plans, and also what they're taking away from us, because we don't earn anything. We've also got some GTA 6 pre-order news. We've also got Xbox apparently going to be pausing third-party Game Pass deals, so let's get into it. But first, maybe a little bit cheeky and ask if you like this content, please like and subscribe, it really helps the channel out. And if you hate me, you can always unsubscribe. So let's get into it. We all know that hardware is so expensive right now, but it's also really weird that we're getting more next generation news about Xbox, about the PS6. And I would think that they'd probably want to wait as long as possible, but they're probably going to just release it next year, especially on the PS6. Which I'd probably wait because the price that they're looking at. Apparently the price of the PS6 is already nearly at $1,000 just for making it. That's just in like the materials to manufacture. And for this article, it's very likely that it could cost well above $1,000 plus, $1,200. Sony have also said they're not going to subsidize the cost. They want to be making money on their console. As usually, consoles were sold at a loss, but it looks like now they're not going to be so generous. Man, how you Xbox, this is down to you for failing and messing it up. No competition, allow Sony to just do what they want. But yeah, it's just, I personally don't think that they should release a new generation because one, not many people are going to get it. Two, most of the games are going to be backwards compatible with the PS5 for probably quite a while. Probably a lot of people just got the PS5 Pro for GTA 6 as well. So they're not going to want to instantly get a new console. Yeah, and probably the RAM prices are going to get even worse. Prices are going to go up even more. I don't think it was possible, but yeah, I do think probably not the right time, but hey, it's Sony. They're also saying that they haven't given up on live service games. You would think they would learn their lesson from Concord, from Marathon, and the one live service game they had, they kill Destiny. So the president, Hideki Nishino, had an interview with Famitsu, sorry about my pronunciation, but he still believes that live service games attract users on a global level and wants to continue to improve that market for both first party and third party content, saying that you need to continuously provide something. Problem I have with this, yeah, maybe live service is the dream if you get it, even on a Fortnite level. You can see they have their struggles, but let's just say you need to have it massively successful for it to be beneficial. I think because there's too many live service games, gamers just don't want to leave their game. Let's say you've been singing hours into Arc Raiders, for example. Are you going to really want to leave for Marathon when all your friends are playing Arc Raiders? You have to convince everyone to move to get that player base. And also, there's only like a finite amount of gamers. Like, I don't think like it's going to be very difficult to get people who don't game to just play your game. But so everyone's just taking a slice of that live service, and I just don't think there's enough room for you to have like one massive game anymore. But that might just be a hot take from me, but that's just how I feel. We're still getting that live service push. Did we ever think they were going to stop? No. But apparently the next gen PlayStation will go beyond the living room, with an article from The Verge saying that they want to try and rival the gaming PC, and like the ability, like people have associated the PlayStation being in the living room, but they noticed that more gamers are playing with monitors, and they want to appeal to that aspect of gamers. So maybe you'll be able to plug a keyboard and mouse into your PlayStation, try and push the Steam Machine angle with the PS6, but try and enter the PC entry-level market. I'm finally on Sony for this video. We definitely don't own anything, as Sony is pulling previously purchased digital movies from the users' libraries. This is due to their licensing agreement with Studio Canal, so a lot of their movies are going to be dropped. So if you bought Terminator 2, Total Recall, Evil Dead and The Deer Hunter and others, you may be getting this. You may get this email that I've just showed on screen. It does suck. It just shows that these companies can get away with it. We're paying for the license. We know what we're getting ourselves into. We don't own anything, and it's just sad to see. Next. Okay, we've got a bit of information of GTA 6 pre-order counts, and this is going to be changing a lot. This information I have is probably quite outdated by now, by the time this video goes out. But apparently the rumor is that GTA 6 has reportedly surpassed 39 million pre-order sales and 3 billion in revenue. Rockstar or Take-Two haven't released an official numbers, so hopefully. I always like looking at this, and yeah, and I just want to let you guys know I have pre-ordered GTA 6, but yeah, it was a birthday present, so I didn't actually. I was quite lucky. I'm really looking forward to knowing like the percentage of Ultimate Edition to Standard Edition. Okay, Xbox are apparently pausing third-party Game Pass deals. An article from Insider Gaming saying they're slowing down with the developers that are third-party. Deals already in place will still go through. I just don't think their Game Pass model is working. Maybe they're gonna get rid of EA, Ubisoft off their Game Pass. I don't really think something that Xbox could benefit from is like you pick your own Game Pass, you choose what you want in it, and you get like a different price depending on all the add-ons you add or don't have. I thought that would be like the angle they could push, but next. Okay, it's time for the quickfire. Okay, so there's a bit of backlash. Unionized Xbox employees are pushing back against the company's looming layoffs and outlined demands. But during the press conference, speakers started saying that they were going frustrated that Microsoft hadn't given all the union reps time to bargain, with one CWA member stating that Microsoft had sat on a proposal for 4 months. The one member did give credit to Microsoft as the World of Warcraft bargaining team at Blizzard saw real gains this past weekend. The union has outlined that it wants Microsoft to include advanced notice of layoffs, 2 years of recall rights, the ability to be rehired if the position they got laid off becomes available, adequate severance, voluntary severance, and for Microsoft to transfer impacted staff to other studios or roles within the larger company. So I definitely think the union has a point. What's the point of us getting laid off if they're just going to hire different people? And we could be repositioned around the company, but hey, I do think that I want this for the studios, but it's Microsoft while they do it. A lot of these big companies don't really like unions for that reason. Or when Microsoft is apparently claims that the State of Decay 3 developer Undead Labs could be shut down. Undead Labs could be another studio added to that Microsoft list of studios going to be shut down. Microsoft are continually looking for buyers for their studios, but if a studio is not found, this could mean 110 jobs could be lost. But the thing is, they did just show more gameplay of State of Decay 3, so are they just gonna shut the studio down and then just release their game? Who knows? A bit of a weird one, as I watched a video from Penguin Zero about this, but Valve threatens legal action against D-Brand over the Portal 2 inspired companion cube for the Steam machine. So like an accessory you put on top of your Steam machine, and it makes it look like the companion cube from Portal. But apparently D-Brand never got permission from Valve to license it, so they just made it and marketing it as well. Like I watched Linus Tech Tips and he's literally showing off in a sponsored segment. And they never thought to ask Valve if this was okay. I feel like that's a bit weird, and sure that's like the first thing you do. Like, what's the point of spending all that money to make it for marketing as well, advertising? And then actually, we never got permission, and Valve said no. Oh. And honestly, you can't blame Valve for this, it's their IP. But, yeah, you just gotta learn and move on, I guess. It's gonna be a switch to a version of Elder Scrolls Oblivion. Hopefully that comes out less buggy than the Skyrim Switch 2 version. WhatsApp is launching usernames with the ability to reserve your username. The class action lawsuit accusing the 3 largest RAM manufacturers of colluding to drive up prices. This includes Samsung, SK Hynix and Micron. They're being sued by 17 plaintiffs in the California Northern District Court, alleging that the manufacturers are colluding to raise the price of RAM and by completing supplies artificially low, blaming on AI data center driven RAM apocalypse rather than corporate policy. And honestly, I do think, yeah, you could quite easily link it that, oh, there's all this RAM's expensive, blame it on the RAM companies. But honestly, I do think it is actually just all on AI, bro. You see the deals OpenAI is making, all these companies are making, bro, they're taking up all the RAM, and obviously the companies can be blamed for selling it to these AI companies and not thinking about the consumers. And if you get that money offered, are you going to be taking it? That's like guaranteed money from these AI companies. If you're like on the board, stakeholder pressure, you're going to take the AI money. I want them to be more consumer led, but hey, that's just not the world we live in. So honestly, we just have to see how this goes. I would love for RAM to become cheaper, man. Apparently China has claimed the world's fastest supercomputer, with China's pushed the US out of the #1 spot on the top 500 ranking. And that is despite the strict limits on what high-powered computing components can be sold to China by US firms. Prosecutors used ChatGPT logs as evidence in the Palisades fire trial. Apparently, this is to do with it. Apparently, Jonathan Ridner was facing arson charges for setting a fire on New Year's Day in 2025. To make the case, the prosecutors turned to location data from his iPhone, security camera footage, witness testimony. They also turned to ChatGPT logs. And apparently he asked, why am I so angry all the time to ChatGPT? And also apparently ranted about how the wealthy were destroying this world. And then pointed to a screen recording which Jonathan, as ChatGPT, whether someone could be blamed for a fire if it was lit by their cigarette. But this still led to a mistrial. But man, that's just crazy that the ChatGPT messages could be used as evidence against you. Okay, apparently Apple wants permission to buy memory from a blacklisted Chinese supplier. Apple looking to get an exception from the Trump administration to buy RAM chips from CXMT, as that company has ties to the People's Liberation Army. So yeah, this is probably due to Apple raising prices like last week, and then not wanting to have to do more price increases in the future. So if they could get another supplier, this could probably help them out quite a bit. OpenAI, this newest model was delayed by the Trump administration, with their newest model, GPT 5.6, blocked from public release. They would grant access only to a small group of enterprise customers in compliance with the request from the federal government, and approval access was from a case-by-case basis, which is also a more favourable deal than they gave Anthropic. So I guess OpenAI are the chosen ones for now. The Steam Machine has pulled back its 4K 60 FPS claims on the Steam Machine, with it originally claiming that it would get that 4K resolutions at 60 FPS. But apparently when people reviewed the Steam Machine, it just wasn't getting that performance, so they pulled it back. Also on the Steam Machine, apparently some models at the start will come with one 16GB RAM stick, so it'll be stuck on single channel memory. And later down the line, they'll come with two 8GB sticks for dual channel. So yeah. And finally, on some depressing news, there might even be more Xbox console price hikes, which could happen in the fall of 2027, with them saying that it could be doubled, which is just crazy, but hey. That's this week's gaming and tech news, and I'll see you in the next one.
Latest gaming and tech news every week, keeping nerds up to date. Yeah, you know the rest.